CBS's hit show Undercover Boss profiles CEOs taking on everyday jobs. But what if your boss was the president of Fresno State or Fresno's mayor? Dr. John Welty and Mayor Swearengen step out of their comfort zones and into the field. They get a whole new perspective on how their organizations work as not-so-undercover bosses. They are two of the most powerful, recognizable people in the Central Valley. Mayor Alicia Swearengen.
Play, shop, Fresno.
The first woman to hold the strong mayor position, known for her work to create jobs and revitalize downtown. And Fresno State University's Dr. John Welty.
As Fresno State moves on to the national stage.
An experienced educator who has led the university during an unprecedented period of growth, both working to guide their organizations during the worst economic downturn since the Great Depression. Both accepted our challenge to step out of their office, change out of their suits, and go undercover in their organizations. Sound familiar?
My undercover experience has come to an end.
Undercover Boss, the CBS Emmy-nominated #1 new series of the season. Each week, a high-powered executive goes undercover to examine the inner workings of their organizations. They see firsthand the impact their decisions have on others. They also discover the unsung heroes who make their companies run. While it's impossible for Mayor Swearengen or Dr. Welty to go anywhere without being recognized, they both agree to try their hand at the dirtier jobs within their organization as a not-so-undercover boss.
I think our university has earned.
Dr. John Welty has been in charge of one of the largest universities in Central California for nearly 20 years. Each fall, the Fresno State Bulldog games draw tens of thousands of fans. It takes the hard work of hundreds of people, mostly students, to make sure the fans have a great time. Dr. Welty, more accustomed to his box view seating at the games, agreed instead to step out, change into a Bulldog uniform, and work a concession stand during a recent home game. Overwhelmed at first by the hungry crowd, Dr. Welty soon got comfortable with his new role and found a new respect for those who keep the fans fed on game day.
People really are working hard. It's amazing how fast they have to move in order to accommodate the customers with the number of people that are here.
The concession stand supervisor says she was surprised by the role reversal. It was refreshing for the team to see President Welty so down to earth.
He did a good job.
But she adds he could use a little more practice.
In order to work in here, he would have to speed it up a little bit, or he would get lost.
From the ball game to the university's dining hall, Dr. Welty took our challenge further in this uniform. He was hardly recognizable.
I was like, wow, we have a new person. I didn't recognize him because what he was wearing. He was like one of the regular people that come in and work. Washing,
cooking, and serving, the students were surprised to see the president on the other side, learning about the meat and potatoes of the college.
It's not that often that you actually have a president, someone that you idolize, to come down and actually serve the students.
From Fresno State to downtown Fresno, Mayor Alicia Swearengen is in charge of running the fifth largest city in California. She's a strong advocate of graffiti abatement, making the challenge of cleaning up after taggers one of her top priorities. But what happens when the mayor goes from making policy to getting her hands dirty? Accepting our challenge, the mayor changed out of her suit and heels and into an orange street vest to spend the day working alongside the city's graffiti abatement team. The job is grueling. While it takes taggers just seconds to deface a piece of city property, it takes a city worker sometimes hours to clean up. A job the mayor appreciates now more than ever.
It's a lot of work. I mean, a little bit of graffiti takes a lot of human effort to get it off.
An effort she says is well worth it, although it can be frustrating at times.
As soon as we take it off in a couple days, it's likely to come back. So it's frustrating, but in the end, I do believe we're winning the war on graffiti.
As for her supervisor for the day, HUTT, he says after seeing Swearengen get her hands dirty, he has a whole new respect for his mayor.
It makes us proud that she would recognize the efforts of the graffiti team and be willing to support us by coming out and joining us.
I think Mayor did really well. I think she passed probation. I think we're ready to hire her.
At the end of the day, these two executives agree too often hard work can go unnoticed, and you don't really appreciate those behind the scenes until you work a day in their suits.
They do a great job, and made me really appreciate how hard it is and how hard they work every day.
I'm very glad I got to be out here. This was a really, really great experience, and I'm very proud of the work that this team does for the city.
And we want to say thank you to the mayor, her team, Dr. Welty and his team for being a part of this special report. Also thanks to photojournalist Taylor Hillman for putting this story together. Also, you can watch the CBS network show Undercover Boss right here on CBS 47 every Sunday at 9 p.m.